The following program does not necessarily represent the views and opinions of Reality Radio 101, its advertisers and sponsors, or its listening audience. Listener discretion is advised. Good afternoon and welcome to the Liquid Green Health Show with your hosts Fred and Janet Cox right here on Reality Radio 101. To get on board right now, send us an email. Our email address is liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. And now, ladies and gentlemen, right to your hosts of the Liquid Green Health Show, Fred and Janet Cox.
Happy New Year.
And I'm hopping and jigging. It's a brand new year. Happy New Year,
everybody.
Welcome to 2023, folks. We made it. We made it through all the trials and tribulations. We're here, and I want to say welcome and thank you for allowing us into your space. My name is Fred Cox. It's Sunday afternoon, January 1, 2023. And to my left or your right is my co-host, Janet, and we are the Coxes. We're broadcasting live today from the beautiful, beautiful city of Oshawa. Are we going to say Poshawa today? Poshawa. So to all of our wonderful listeners, all of our loyal listeners across Canada, the United States, and around the world, thank you for allowing us into your space one more time.
And Frederick, we have every year, every single show since we started, every single show. We are so grateful because every week
we increase our numbers.
Folks listening, because folks who are on and they enjoy the show.
No, but that's because of me.
Because
of me. That's
of course.
That's the only reason we're getting new people. Right,
and
folks?
They tell their friends, So even today, Christmas, we had new listeners. Amazing. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right? And New Year's, let's see what happens next.
Let's see what happens. It's a new year, as I said, and we all know it's 2023. And I want to say congratulations to all of us that have made it this far, regardless of your status, regardless of your health, your financial situation. We're here, and thank you. Today's show is sponsored by Liquid Green Products, and we have a brand. Remember, we were telling people that we're coming up with a brand new product.
It should have been before Christmas.
It should have been before Christmas, but folks, for those of you that are looking at us, is this in camera? No. You can hold that, right? Those of you that are watching us on YouTube,
this is the new bad boy.
The bad boy, and it's really bad, really, really bad.
No,
this way, yeah,
right.
Really, really bad. It's LG Extra. It's a hygienic all-purpose cleaner, and it is a powerhouse. For those of you who, really looking for something that's a lot better from a green product, this is A1. This is the Bentley of cleaning products. So I'm going to tell you how you can get it later on in the show. Okay, so what are we talking about today?
Well,
we had an exciting week.
As everybody knows, we've been talking about it for at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We were talking about the big polar dip in Toronto.
And it actually happened today. Folks. It actually happened. I had the privilege, I'm going to tell everybody, I had the privilege today
of standing there and taking pictures.
being amongst a group of crazy people, really crazy people, 700
they
folks,
said about 700 people.
Right? Who decided to get into the frigid waters of Lake Ontario. So, but before we get to that, I have to tell you that if you're listening to us for the very first time, again, welcome to the year 2003. This is the Liquid Green Health Show. 2023. This is the Liquid Green Health Show. And you're listening to us on Reality Radio 101. All our past broadcasts, you can get it on Spotify or YouTube. Just punch in Liquid Green Health Show, hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe, do all of those things because we want to grow. We want you to help us to grow, and we will be able to send you our videos as often as possible. Okay. You can also write us in. Please do so. Write us in today at the Liquid Green Health Show at gmail.com. That's Liquid Green Health Show at gmail.com. Please let us know where you're listening to us from. We love to, have your questions, your suggestions. We're going to be talking today about resolutions.
Yes.
Today. So let us know what your New Year resolution is.
Yeah.
And we'll discuss it on here today. Today's broadcast, like all our broadcasts, is for education and entertainment purposes only, designed to stimulate the mind and help bring us one step closer to living a healthier lifestyle. So with all that said,
yes,
and with all the happenings that have taken place over the weekend and specifically today, right?
Yeah.
Imagine we got out of bed, you got out of bed, got dressed, and went down to the shores of Lake Ontario.
Sunnyside Park, to be exact.
It was raining. Yeah. We had a little bit of wet snow, right?
Cold, yeah.
Even the sun refused to show its face today. It was hiding behind the clouds. But you and a gang of busters, right, decided that they are going to go in. And we have two of them here today.
Two of the Liquid Green team, the Polar Bear team.
Right. And we have pictures, folks, we're going to be posting on the internet for those of you who had doubts that this would have been done. Because one sponsor said they wanted proof.
Oh yes, she said, I want proof or I want my money back, because on the literature, the sheet I sent out, at the bottom of it, I had said, I reserve the right to change my mind up to the very last second. She says, I want proof.
I want proof.
But anyway, we have some folks.
We have a lot of pictures. Yeah. So with that said, I'm going to let you introduce our guest.
We're already familiar with Hilsa. I'm going to start with Hilsa. I want to welcome both Hilsa and Ava to our show. And Hilsa, I'm going to start with you because you have been on the show before. You were on actually not last week, but the week before. So you had a special motive for wanting to do the dip. Could you tell us, first of all, how did you ring in the new year?
I rang in the new year by taking the polar dip. That was my thing.
No, I mean last night. What did you do last night?
Took a shower, went to bed.
Practice. You took a cold shower? That was supposed to be a practice run.
No, okay. I just did my usual, my laundry, clean up the place. That was it. Make sure there's no dirty clothes, for the first.
Yes. Right. So everything's sparkling for the new year, right?
Yes, yes.
And we also have with us Ava Anderson. And Kira, we've met Kira, our daughter. And you've also met Kira's husband, Lamord. And Ava is Lamord's sister. And you have heard Maxwell talk about his extended family, that they all live together. And whenever he talks about Auntie Ava, this is who it is. And Ava, when did you actually decide that you were going to do the dip? When did you decide?
Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. I think I finally decided maybe 2 nights ago. That's when I made a pledge to Janet and then registered myself to say, you know what, let me do this. For myself and also to support. Yes, it took me that long because Coldwater and I are not friends.
So I have been wanting to do it for a while. So like my mindset, it was there for me. The decision was not difficult because it's something I've wanted to do. And for over 2 years, I've been doing the cold showers and I will ramp it up. Instead of doing hot first, I'm thinking I'll start with cold. Just, because I've read so much about the therapy, that cold water therapy is actually good for you. So, there are ways, right? So, Hilsa.
Yes.
What was your experience? How was it for you?
It was wonderful, actually. It wasn't as cold as I thought it would have been, and just deciding to do something selfless and just following through.
Right.
But I watched you, Hill. So she was excited.
She was more.
She was dancing and she had the colors.
You had the Jamaican colors.
Dressed up and she was ready to go.
You are in more of the videos than I am, right? And so is Ava. I'm saying to everybody who took the picture, so where am I? Where am I? Where am I? I'm trying to find me. I took 3 dips and I only saw half. I might have to be giving some of this money back. But
yeah, and we saw Ava dipping.
Yeah. And I had extenuating circumstances, which I know we have a very wonderful audience. And if I share this, I'm never going to hear the end of it. But I had necessity to be in the water longer than necessary. And I will not expand.
You wanted to poop?
I will leave it at that. So I took at least 3-4 dips.
So you're right. That's why she stayed so long. That's why. Okay. So that explains why she was in there too. But it was, I asked one of the participants as they were passing, got into the water, and I said, is it cold? Because I said, damn hell, it's cold.
Yes,
it was
because
cold.
My girlfriend Lois, who actually she donated, she's one of the donors. Oh, first of all, I want to say thank you to all the folks who have donated. Some of the names we don't even recognize.
Yes.
And lots of friends.
Yes.
And we weren't asking for big donations because we started late, it's Christmas. And we raised 500 collected already. And I know, Hilsa, you still have some that's coming in. So
yes,
I think
definitely.
we're going to be close to the $700 mark.
Yes, I think so too.
So it's awesome. So Ava, for you, how was it? Like you were the first one closed off and rearing to go.
Yeah, she was rearing to go.
Last to the side first. Why were you so anxious?
I think it's part of that where it's like this mental game that if I don't get myself prepped, if I don't get in that water right away, I will not do it. Okay. So I had to, hype myself up and get in the water. Mm-hmm. And it was great, actually. As Hilsa said, the water wasn't as cold as I had prepared myself for it to be, but it was cold. It was freezing. I felt it in my toes. I felt it in my toes right away. So it was freezing. But then I got in there and I went to my waist. I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can go up to my neck. I dipped and I ran out.
I saw you. Yeah, I saw you.
We have you, Duncan. Hilsa, I'm not sure if we have you on camera submerged. I'm not sure.
No, I just went up to my waist.
Okay.
Yeah, I just went up to my waist because I felt my toes start like icicle. It's like, okay, I'm coming out now.
Yeah, right away.
It's like, I'm coming out now.
Yeah, I heard some people were saying the same thing. Their legs were.
It's the lower extremity. It's from your waist down.
Yeah.
Because even after I dunked, honestly, I dunked 3 times, and I up here, the trunk, nothing. But the legs, like the icicles, are forming, right? Mm-hmm. And for me, my fingers, because of course I was using my hands to make sure I get thoroughly washed off.
And your hands were cold. Your hands were cold for a very long time.
Yes. Oh my gosh. We also had a spectator gallery because Janet, who was on last week with her granddaughter, Janet Lumley was there, and she left her house. She wasn't going to dunk, but support of friends is always
we have
so
important. We have some very good pictures. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I felt as though I was in the water because it was still cold. I mean, it was drizzling a bit and my hands were cold. And so I enjoyed it from the land. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll do it, but it was fun.
Would you do it again, ladies?
I would do it again.
All right, Hilsa,
I would say yes. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Ava.
I would say yes. There were 3 things I took away from it. The first thing was that personal sense of accomplishment. Yes. You're doing something. Well, it wasn't ever on my bucket list, but I guess I put it on there, then struck it off the same time. That personal sense of accomplishment, also that support with others and knowing that the money is going to a good cause. Okay. But then the third thing, which I didn't even expect, was that feeling afterwards. I started thinking about imagining the people who say go overboard in a boat or a ship, or the refugees who are crossing to escape harm and they're willing to risk being submerged in freezing cold water to get to safety. That's the third thing that came out of it for me, that empathy. Right. So yeah, it was worth it, definitely.
And it's amazing you say that, because I felt the same thing. I said, oh my gosh, this has given me a new respect for people who go through the ice. And guess what? One of our producers, Mike, in a minute, I'm going to ask him to share a personal story he had where he actually went in, he was submerged. And we're going to let him tell us about that. But Hilsa, you were saying, would you do it again?
Yes, I would definitely do it again.
Yeah.
Yes. Because it felt so good to be able to accomplish, set your mind to something.
Yes.
And do it. You know, I made sure I told everybody.
Right.
Because accountability.
But,
you know, yeah, accountability. Right. Actually, from the first time when you mentioned it, Janet, even though I said to you, whatever.
Yeah.
Instinctively, right? I said to myself, I'm doing it.
Okay.
And the cause on which this was for, it's a very good cause. Very good cause.
Now, for me, I'm thinking I probably won't do it again, because again, in my mind, I said, these are the things on my list that I'm just going to do once. So now I'm looking for what's the next thing I want to do once. And that definitely is, Hills, I know you're in. Ava, we've lost you, but I probably know you will be in, because I think we're
here.
Spirits. I'm saying for the next one, we're going to be doing the plane. We're going to do the tandem jump this year.
Yes.
Come
on, Alex. Come on, we gotta do it. What's wrong with
which plane?
We gotta do it.
Which plane?
That's a good question. Which plane?
How high is this plane going to be?
It doesn't matter. We're doing it.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
2 feet off the ground, I'm game. 2 feet off the ground. But you know something? When we got to the parking lot, remember those guys that we met?
Oh yes.
We saw a group of black guys there. Yeah. And I said, Janet asked, is this where they're doing the polar jump? And the guy said, yes, just 5 minutes walk from here. And I said, are you guys going in? And they said, yeah. And I said, well, I thought we were the only crazy black folks who are going to be doing this.
There were quite a few, honestly.
But this is not their first time.
No.
One of them was from
Victoria.
And
they said they're used to it.
They're used to it. So.
But this is what I love about Toronto. I'm sure when we see the pictures, it was so mixed.
Multicultural.
In terms of I think there was representation from every culture that lives in Southern Ontario.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. It was really good. And for the organizers, I'm saying, oh my God, this is really a great thing to organize. It only took a minute. I mean, people come, they go in, they leave. Yeah. It's not, you don't have to spend 6 hours monitoring a day. It's not bad for a fundraiser, Not bad. But Mike, before the ladies leave, can you share your experience with us? Tell us what happened with your experience in the cold water.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I was on a skidoo, and it was in the middle of the winter. We're on a creek, and we slowed down, and we noticed there was an open body of water to the right of us. And we said, we better get out of there quick. And as soon as we gave a gas, we went right below the ice, and the skidoo disappeared, and we went in with the skidoo.
Oh my God.
And it was pretty quick. It wasn't cold as I thought it would be when I first went in, just like you guys had that same experience. Yeah. I guess the adrenaline kicks in, and you kind of, you kind of go into self-protection mode, I guess, or something.
Yeah.
We got up pretty quick, and we realized it was really cold when we were walking home, and our jeans and our clothing were starting to freeze. So that was my experience. So it happened pretty quick.
But you said you had to walk home, right?
We had to walk home about a mile, because we're living out in the country, and we're skidooing. And we get pretty far pretty quick with a skidoo. So we came back home, and we warmed up for a couple hours, and then we went to go and grab the skidoo, and that took about 8 hours to get out of the ice.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old were you, Mike?
I was probably 18, 19, maybe just barely 20 years old at the time.
And your mom, what did your mom say?
You know what? I don't know if I even discussed it with her or not. I'm not totally sure.
Okay.
I try to keep that stuff away from, because my mom was kind of a worry kind of person. She worried about everything. So I try to keep that away from her, because she'd be pretty upset about it, I would imagine.
Probably would have ended up with a spanking.
Gary.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Gary, thanks for sharing that with us, Mike. Gary, have you had any of that kind of close encounter with cold water?
Well, I used to rescue people as a firefighter, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times, we've done that. People went through the ice, like Mike said, And of course, we had people going out with their vehicles, trucks, and all
Yeah.
that stuff. And
Mhm.
and then the unfortunate thing, not to be Debbie Downer, but people used to commit suicide and jump off of bridges and stuff, break
Right.
through the ice,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that way. And
And that was
I've
it.
had several ice rescues in my career.
Okay.
A
Wow.
wonderful way to go.
Well, we're all safe, and I don't think
Yes.
they had any mishaps. And it's funny, even when people were leaving, there were still so many people that are just go in and come out, and they go in again. And some of them, as you say, I see people in there that were at least 3 minutes.
Yeah,
But
there were
these are
some.
probably-
There were a group of people that went
Yeah.
way out, and I'm certain they were over the 3 minute or even 5 minute mark. They were
Okay.
just waiting in the.
So, Ava, any last words before we let you go?
Thank you. Those are my last words. Thank you very much, Janet, for encouraging me to do this, for pushing me to sign up, for being so supportive today throughout the entire thing. And also to you too, Hilsa and Frederick. Thank you for the coffee. It was amazing.
Guess
But
what?
yeah,
Ava, I want you to tell our listeners, what were the men in your house doing today?
not
relaxing.
doing the polar bear dip. They were relaxing.
And watch it. So if any of you see it on City TV, we'd love to get a picture if you see it. Hilsa, any last words
yes.
from you?
Just thank you,
Mhm.
and happy New Year to everyone.
Mhm.
And you know what? Just live.
That's
Just
Enjoy
right.
life. Life.
Live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your hubby
I like that.
came. Your hubby
Yes.
was there, right?
Yeah. Great
Under
support.
duress? Was it under duress or?
He was complaining of cold feet because he said his shoes got wet, right?
Yeah.
But it was.
And
it
he's
was a good
recently up from Jamaica, right? Is he recent in Canada or no?
No, he's not
No.
recent.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, it's a pleasure having you folks. You know, have yourself a wonderful, enjoyable, peaceful, healthy, spiritually rich 2023.
Okay.
Right?
Thank
Right
you,
back
and
at
same
you.
to you. Same
All
to
right.
you. Take care,
All right.
everybody.
Thank you,
And
everyone.
I also want to say before the ladies leave, we want to thank, we saw her today, Tamara Moore,
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
who was one of the organizers, and they made the public address, and they really corralled over, as we said, over 700
Over
people who
700
were
people.
there today.
Yeah.
And
The biggest.
they
Yeah.
really take it seriously. When I look at Tamara's resume, her experience, like she could be doing a lot of other things and making a lot of money,
Mhm.
just from what I see on her page, right? But here she is. People like that do make a difference,
Yes.
right? They do
Yes.
make a difference. And you know, the next thing that I'm hoping that during this year, Frederick, that for not just abused children, but children who are suffering from the slave trade, the sex trade,
Oh, yes.
where they're stolen and
Yes.
being
Mhm.
taken and sold
And so, yeah.
into slavery. And it's happening even here in Toronto.
Oh,
so
yeah.
many issues we need to tackle.
Address.
Right?
Yeah.
So thanks again. Have a wonderful rest of the year.
Yes, you as well.
Thank you.
care.
Take care.
And
Bye-bye.
with that,
Bye-bye.
yeah, have fun, folks. With that, let me tell our audience what we're doing today. If you're joining us for the first time, or you just happen to join us late, you're listening to the Liquid Green Health Show right here on Reality Radio 101. My name is Fred Cox, and my co-host is Janet Cox. And today it's the very first day of the year, and we're just having fun. We're celebrating the new year that we're in, the dawning of the new year, 2023. And we had two wonderful guests on that decided to do the polar dip with you. And we're going to be talking also
And folks, you are listening
Yeah, they can hear
to
us.
Liquid Green Health Show.
Yeah.
Let me give out your email address, Fred and Janet. If you're just
Yeah.
tuning in, and we can see that you are, our email address is liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. We just had a technical glitch there. And as you were saying, we're going to be talking about what everyone is talking about at this time of the year, and that's resolutions. And many resolutions are made, many are not kept.
So, folks, if you do have a resolution, there you go. You're back again. You were cut out a little bit again. So
okay, so we're having some technical glitches, folks. We go.
I don't know why, but
anyway, I'm not sure, but
okay.
it's
But
a new
Gary's
year.
so wonderful at that. So.
You know why
Just
you're having
saying.
technical glitches? I believe the coldness is coming off of Janet's skin, and it's affecting all the equipment in your studio.
I think so. I want to think so.
Oh dear.
Yeah, you were asking if I have any resolutions.
Yeah. Did you make?
Folks, write in if you do. If you have any resolutions, please write in to Fred.
I think this year I'm going to make an effort. And what I would like to do, my resolution is to focus on 4 things.
4. Okay.
That is health.
Health related.
Number 1.
I'm gonna write them down for you so you won't forget.
Yeah. I want to work on my spirituality some more. I've kind of neglected that over the time.
What do you mean by that?
Just be more in tune with my spiritual self.
What do you mean by
more
that?
meditations and stuff like that. Right?
Well, you're pretty good at that. You're pretty good at
yeah,
doing
but I
that.
don't think I've been doing it as regular and as in depth as I should have. And I'm putting it in that order because health is number 1.
Yeah.
For me, health transcends spirituality, because if you don't have good health, you won't be able to do the spiritual things that are supposed to be done, right?
Okay.
And then after that, the other 2 is just going to fall into place, which is family and prosperity. Right. So in that order for me.
That's 3. What's the 4th
No, that's
one?
4.
You said spirituality,
health, spirituality, family, and
health.
prosperity.
Okay. Good.
You're not listening.
All right. Mike, I'm putting you on the spot again. Have you made a resolution? 1 yet?
You know what? I never even gave it much thought. Maybe just to try to get healthy, like you guys are talking about, and lose a few pounds. And I think that's the main thing. You got to have your health if you want to do all the other stuff, right?
Right. And you know what? Weight loss, I think, is like number 2. I think it's not number 1, but it might be number 2 in terms of people who want to lose weight. And I remember last year, like next week was when we started.
Yeah, we're going to be talking a lot about that aspect of the health vision.
And I had decided to lose 12 pounds.
Yeah.
And I did lose 10 pounds. I did.
You need to stop eating.
Since about 4 weeks ago, I've put on 4 pounds.
Yeah.
And that's part of the Christmas eating.
Yeah, I've broken away. I've broken away from that regimen simply because of the festivities that were coming on, and I just wanted to enjoy myself. But I know starting maybe tomorrow or in a few days, I'm going to go back on the proper eating and stuff like that, because that's important.
Okay. Gary.
Yes.
Yeah. What's yours? Not to get married again, right?
No, that's not going to happen for a while. No. I guess the same as Mike and yourself, to lose a little bit of weight, and also Fred. I'm a spiritual person. I want to be a little bit more spiritual this year, and I think that's it. Hoping for world peace, basically, and people getting along. That's mine. So yeah, for sure. And folks, we lost Fred and Janet. You are listening to the Liquid Green Health Show right here on Reality Radio 101. If you'd like to contact Fred and Janet, and if you have a comment, a question, or you just would like to let us know what your resolution ideas are for this year, Fred and Janet's email address is liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. That's liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. And also, just for those listening, when we were talking earlier about the dip and Mike actually having his accident with his snowmobile, just remember, folks, this is not the time of year really to be out on the ice doing stuff. The ice is not stable yet. It's not totally frozen. And you have to be very, very, very cautious when you go out on the ice with a vehicle, a snowmobile, or even yourself. Just remember, you can possibly break through and get trapped and drown. So you want to be very, very cautious about anything that you may do with ice this time of the year. It's still early in the winter, and the ice is not totally frozen as of yet. So if you'd like to get on board, liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. That's liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. Mike, do you have anything to add to that?
I could talk about the story when I was in my swimming pool, try to repair it like late in the fall, like in the beginning of the winter. And that was my second exposure to, I guess, going below the water. And one thing I did notice is once your head goes below the water, you can get in trouble pretty quick. And you
That's
probably
correct.
know that as being a paramedic, it just your thinking process gets all screwed up, and so you got to be really careful with the water, like you were saying, eh?
Absolutely. And people panic if they go through ice or they don't know how to swim, even when there's no ice and they're in a body of water. The best thing you can do, folks, is not to panic. Human beings, like animals, inherently are natural swimmers. It's not really a question of taking lessons or learning from someone. That does help. But initially, if you had the will and you fell into water or you had an accident in water, you would do the right thing if you don't panic. The body will naturally want to float, and your body movements, you'd naturally want to swim. So those are things to always remember this time of year. Again, if you're on ice skating, or with a snowmobile or with a vehicle, make sure you have the proper amount of ice on the surface. And, by the way, there's a lot of data and information online of what the ice thickness is recommended to do certain activities on ice, from walking, skating, to using a snowmobile or a vehicle. It tells you how many inches of ice you should have prior to going out and, putting something like that on ice. So folks, always check that. And it's very simple to do. You can always just drill into ice and then, measure the amount of thickness with a ruler, which is how they test it. It's very simple to test. So that's what you'd like to do. Folks, if you are just tuning in, you are listening to the Liquid Green Health Show with your hosts, Fred and Janet Cox. We lost them technically. We're trying to get them back right now. If you'd like to write in, our email address is liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. That's liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. Mike, do you have anything else to add to that?
I'm trying to think. I know when I was a kid, we used to check the ice with an axe, and if it was like 6 to 8 inches thick, then we're usually pretty good driving skidoos and stuff like that. But one thing you got to watch out for too is running water. Like if there's a creek, or if the water is not stationary, that can make a big difference, because now that area could be very thin, but the other parts could be really thick. So that's another thing you got to watch out for too.
That's right. And here's the problem. Again, when people have an issue with when they go out there and something cracks or they fall in, as we talked about, people panic. And when you do that, believe it or not, your body and everything becomes heavier and it will sink quicker. So again, and by the way, when you wear certain clothes as well, in the winter, some of those clothes can act as buoyancy, and some of those clothes can act more as an anchor. So
okay, I got Fred about to come back in and see what happens here now. Should be joining us now. Yeah, go ahead, Gary. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so I think Fred and Janet are coming back.
Okay, all right. Okay, folks, can you hear us?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not sure. We don't know what happened, but we were chatting away, and and we realized nobody's hearing us. Nobody's listening
it's
to us.
the polar ice getting into the computer. That's what it
Oh,
is.
Yes,
man.
I believe it's the cold skin of Janet Cox destroying the equipment.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if I could get our picture back.
Yeah, get your picture back and we'll
on.
take a look.
Okay, there we go.
Excellent.
Okay, so we're back on. So
what's the last thing you heard? I have no idea.
I heard the word "the."
that was it. Okay,
Just
so
kidding.
let's get all the way back to where we thought we were. that we were talking about reservations.
Resolutions.
Resolutions. See?
The reservations are going to come.
Yeah, we were talking about resolutions and the importance of making a resolution at this time and why it is important. And it's a very good time to make whatever resolution that you have. Many are going to be made and many more are not going to be kept.
Right.
Right. And for various reasons, whatever it is. But if you are someone who want to make a resolution, this is a perfect time to do it. And
because you were saying the influence of the moon is extremely important.
Yes.
If people start to pay attention to it, it can make life easier.
And what I was saying is that the moon is in a waxing stage right now. It's
meaning what?
It's getting fuller.
Okay, good.
Right.
And then the
strength, the energy, the magnetic influence that the moon has on the earth is at its strongest point right now, whether you are a human, an animal, or an insect, as long as you are a living entity, plant or whatever, it has an effect on you. Whether you want to accept it, believe it or what, that those are the facts, right? And so because of the stage that the moon is in, it's a perfect time to make plans. It's a perfect time to build on something that you already have. It's a perfect time to relax and rest and recover. It's a perfect time to, if you are someone who's paying a lot of attention to your health, you're taking supplements and stuff to build the body, it's a perfect time to do that.
Okay.
Because of the magnetic force of the energy of the moon.
So what we're going to do is ask our listeners if they have made any resolutions they want to share with us that we can read. Perhaps you can say.
I think we have some email. Let me double check. I've asked our listeners to write in, and I'm going to read one here. This one is from Pam, and she says, after hearing about Janet's escapades, my New Year's resolution is to do a fundraising dip in a hot tube.
Okay.
While drinking a glass of wine.
Hot tub, I'm sure.
Some cheese. Not a tub, she said a tube.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
While drinking a glass of wine and eating some cheese. And then have a very hot man towel.
No, a man towel dry me off.
Oh.
Not a man. Let me read this email.
Yeah. A very hot man towel. That's what she said.
No.
A very hot, it should be read.
A very hot man towel dry me off.
Well, it's how it's written. I just read.
No, it's how you read it.
I hope that I can get some sponsors.
I will sponsor you and I will join you in that hot tub. Who was that? Pam.
Yeah, okay. That's from Pam. And here's another one from Monica. Monica said, Fred, these ladies are heroes.
And she says, a big, fantastic R, right?
I don't like the way she wrote that. That's huge. Of all the fonts you've used, you decided to use an extremely large font to spell the word R.
Read the rest of the email.
Yeah. Let me read it over. She said, Fred, these ladies are heroes.
Yeah.
What happened to you? Are you a...
we will have to get Gary to sanction the show, right?
Okay, Monica, I'll remember that. Here's one from Hank. Congratulations to Janet. Weepy! Happy New Year to all of you. My New Year's resolution is to use Liquid Green health products in my home.
All right. I wish we had a bell. We'll ring it, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, I'm going to tell you more about our new product. It's LG Extra, and it's a hygienic all-purpose cleaner. Just before we close off, I'll get into that. Yep. And I'm going to read another email here. This one is from William. And William says, Happy New Year to the Coxes and their radio show. It is amazing.
Oh, and she sent that gorgeous picture. I don't
beautiful
know. Beautiful iceberg, right?
Yeah,
the one that has the reflection,
yeah,
where you can see the top and it's reflected in the water.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Beautiful. Maybe when we go up to Yellowknife or wherever.
You know, we were watching on Netflix the other day. We were watching the volcano, the documentary on the volcano. And that's also, it's on a lot of people's bucket list to go to visit a volcano. Just so happened that this one was active and 22 people lost their lives.
I seen that one. That was a really good show.
It wasn't it? It was like awesome. And Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say I didn't realize that there is that potential, dangerous thing aspect to it.
Apparently, it happens. It erupts every 2 to 3 years.
But nobody has ever been hurt. And it's always been not.
Yeah, they had like a level 2. It was at a level 2, and I guess 3 is considered an eruption according to the show. Yeah. But they said the people that died or got seriously injured, it wasn't the actual lava; it was the steam.
It's the steam because this one didn't have the lava coming over. It was the explosion of the steam.
Yeah, I was
and the
really
sulfur. Shocked. Oh my gosh, it was so good. So we recommend that highly if you have not seen it.
Yeah, it was a really good show.
Make sure when you have your bucket list, you do some checking, because I think in that case, Mike, nobody took responsibility for the casualties. Right. And so, how much can you really depend on your tour company to keep you safe?
Probably not much. You got to you got to look it up yourself.
Yeah. It's a tourist beware.
Yeah.
Beware. Like buyer beware kind of thing going on.
Here's an email from Tim. Happy New Year. Is Janet all right?
He said, right, Janet? Did she do it? Did she? Or Janet, are you alive? You know what? I'm going to make a confession. I think I was more excited. This is going to sound terrible, me saying this. The anticipation was part of the adrenaline, right? The anticipation. I don't know if because today was such a warm day. Like, as I said, as my friend Loy said, it was 5 degrees today in Toronto, which, she said, you cheated. It's 5 degrees. So the actual dip was not as traumatic as I thought it would have been or could have been.
Because your mind was prepared for it.
It was relatively easy. And because, we came out and we weren't shivering to death, putting our clothes on, it was really, really, really much easier than I thought it would have been.
There's an email from Florence.
Yeah.
Hi, Coxes. Someone took a picture of Janet today, looking through the ice. There you are.
Right.
Frozen.
Okay, so getting back to resolutions.
Yes.
I was looking online, and it's apparently so many people make resolutions, like you've said, Fred.
Why do people make resolutions in the first place when they're going to break it?
No, because, New Year, what does everybody want? It's like a clean slate. You're starting from ground zero again. So everything you did wrong last year, every mistake you made, everything you didn't get to do, whatever, you have a chance. You have a chance to start again.
But listen,
right?
Yeah, that is true. Now, as I said before, is a perfect time to make the plans.
Yeah.
But it's not a perfect time to execute the plans.
Why?
Because there's a time and a place and a reason for everything. Okay. And again, and we're going to be talking about this in the new year, about the power of the moon on us as humans. Right?
Okay.
Everything has a place and a time, because you could make your plans, but when the time comes to execute those plans, you have to know when is the right time to do it. And if you do it at the wrong time, you're not going to get the same results.
I know that, but what I'm saying is, even without the aspects of the moon, so if folks don't know anything about the influence of the moon, this is something now that we're really
we're going to be talking about it.
Get into it personally,
influential the moon
because
is.
apparently if you do, it makes all our decisions easier.
Yes.
Right. But what I'm saying is, for people who we at Liquid Green Health Show, starting next week, I would like us to throw out another challenge. Right. We'll talk about it next week. It's going to be a weight loss, health dominated weight loss program.
Okay.
And not something so rigid that we're not going to be able to do it.
Okay.
It's going to be the beginning of a lifestyle change. Because I know as soon as you start to get off your usual, if you said you're going to, for example, me, that I lost the 10 pounds and I've been pretty vigilant in trying to keep it off. And then within a few short weeks, you change your eating plan and the way
That's
it's
because you
coming
don't
back
have the
on.
discipline. You don't have,
No,
you
because
have not
because it's
trained your mind. Don't blame me.
because it's easy to do it. So what I'm saying is, it has to be a lifestyle change. It has to be
No,
something
it has
that's
to be
not
a
going to be a
conscious
fad.
decision of something that you have a desire that you want to do. And so that means reprogramming the mind.
Yes,
And if
and
the
that's
mind-
what
if-
most people want to do at the beginning of the new year.
Yeah, but most people want things to happen, boom, to
Yeah.
start right away.
Mhm.
And because you're dealing with something from a natural perspective,
Mhm,
it is going to take a much longer time. It takes 21 days for the mind to be programmed properly.
mhm,
And so for the first 21 days, you're going to go through some very, very difficult moments,
mhm.
challenging moments to stick to that, to that regimen that you have you've laid out for yourself. And if you're not capable or willing or have the desire to want to do it, if your desire is not strong enough, it ain't going to work like anything else. And that's why I said there's a time and place for everything. If it is done at the right time, it
Mhm.
becomes easier for you to do it.
Right. So
And that's what we're going to be talking about
what next
going
week?
forward
Mhm.
as we go forward.
I wanted to share something with our listeners, but for the life of me, I can't find it. Do you remember that something I sent to you last night?
No,
That email I sent to you last night? Can we find it?
no.
Okay. Give me a minute. See if there are
Okay.
any other emails, and I'll just try and find this.
Yeah,
Because I
okay.
wanted to
I
go
think I have
through it.
a couple more emails here that I would like to touch base if I can find
Mm-hmm.
it quickly. Here's one from, where is it? Peter. Peter wrote in and said, a picture of Janet, and I don't see the picture, Peter. But apparently the picture did not come through.
Okay.
Because there's
Okay.
an image there, but
Mhm.
there's nothing,
Mhm.
but there's a section there where an image is supposed to be. And it says
Okay.
water off a bridge stock video footage, royalty free, So probably that's what he picked up
Okay.
and
I
tried to
found
send to
what
us,
I
but it
was
never
looking
came
for.
through.
Mhm.
Sorry about that, Peter. But thanks for the thought anyway.
Okay.
Here's another one from, okay, go ahead. Yeah.
I think you had taken
Yeah.
care of the rest. Okay. Now, what I liked about what someone online, it's
Mhm.
a suggestion, and it's a little bit different from just making a resolution on one idea, on one thing. What she said was, instead of coming up with a resolution, she comes up with a word or a phrase that she uses all year,
Okay.
right? And it's like a personal word of the year then for 2023.
Mhm.
And so it's not just like, okay, I want to get fit, or it's not like I'm going to go join the gym.
Mhm.
Not like that. She said she actually uses a phrase that sums up the intention for the new year, for the whole year ahead, right? So what she does, I forget her name, I should have written it down, but what she does is she looks at the year past, what went right, what went wrong. And then she looks at the year, the 2023, what is it that she really would like to do? And then she writes a list. And on the list, she has different descriptions and then a short list. And everything boils down to a word or two. For example, she said the word she had last year was bloom.
Mhm.
And you can see that somebody who wants to, if their word is bloom, and then she keeps this on her desk, she keeps it on her phone, she keeps it on her calendar. You know, the way they say, stick it on your mirror. So
Yes.
it's everywhere so that your mind is saturated with this. And so for everything in her life, she wanted relationships to bloom, finances to bloom, health to bloom, so spirituality to bloom, adventurous plans, projects, etc. to bloom, right? So that is what I'm going to get some more information on it and probably share it next week again when we talk about the resolution that we're going to try and have people like our listeners join us with, right? And one of the words she came up with was nourish. Do you think that would be a good?
Was that nurse?
Nourish.
Oh, nourish.
Nourish.
That would be like nutrition.
Well,
Right.
nourish, and nourish could be a fantastic word for your 2023 resolution, for lack of a better word, because you can be nourished in so many ways, right?
Yeah.
Again, you can be nourished in your relationships with your children, with your spouse, with your job. You know, you can be nourished health-wise. Make sure you're doing the right thing. Right?
Nourish my health.
And
Nourish my spirituality.
one other person wrote in that article, and they said theirs was adventure. And I am leaning towards that for this year.
Okay.
Because what is it that we plan for our next vacation?
North Pole.
After the dip. Frederick says he will not do the dip, but he will do
I don't mind venturing out into the North Pole area.
into the Arctic Circle.
The Arctic Circle.
And do the dog
The
sled.
dog sled. Yeah, I
right?
think that would be fun. To me, that's more
Yeah.
adventurous than going into a pool of cold water. Right.
Yeah, so
That's-
that could be the next vacation.
Yeah.
Right?
I listen, I
Mhm.
tried bathing with cold water the other day
Mhm.
and I almost died. Right. And it's not easy. It's not an easy thing to have cold water. Like the frontal part of you is fine. You can handle it. But the minute you turn around and that cold water hits your back, it's a whole different
But you
ballgame.
see, there is like everything in life is a process.
I don't like the process.
I know, but I know that. But because, and I'm being so serious, because it has so many benefits. Seriously, Google it. So many benefits. I'm going to continue doing it, but you don't just start.
We have to
one
start
day.
somewhere.
You don't just start and say, I'm going to go cold. You
No,
don't.
I turned
You adjust
gradually
gradually.
until the temperature changed
Yes.
from,
And that's all you
what
can
I'm
handle.
accustomed
And
to.
then tomorrow you try a little bit
No,
more.
I'm not going to do it again.
And then the third day, a little bit more till eventually you can do it. Right now, honestly, I go to the gym. I don't even wait for the water to get cold before I go into the swimming pool. I go in and I just turn the cold water on, and it's not a problem anymore because your body has become accustomed. I'm acclimatized to it.
Okay.
Right? So
Okay.
that's
Let me
all I'm saying.
let me take a minute or two and let me tell our audience about our
Yes.
new product that we have launched.
Mhm.
We were planning on having this out before Christmas,
Mhm.
and we had some, setbacks, and we didn't get everything done on time. But now it's available, folks, and this is Liquid Green Extra. It's a powerhouse of a cleaning product. It's 100% carcinogen free. It is toxin free. It is fragrance free. If you're looking for a product, a green product that can clean your home, your car, your boat, your office, your grills, anything without leaving a toxic footprint, this is the product for you. And I could safely tell you that there is no other green product on the market today that can clean as efficiently and as effectively as LG Extra made by Liquid Green Products. And so it is not on our website as yet, but we're offering it to our listeners and to all that have ever used our Liquid Green products. If you're looking for something that is powerful, that can really cut through grease and dirt and get your place clean without having to worry about fumes and fragrances and all of those nonsense, this package is for you, right? It's only available via email.
What's going to be the cost of it?
It's going to be $27 for the package.
Oh, okay. I want to make it a little less because it's New Year's, and I think that in the spirit of generosity, we should make it a little less for our listeners and make it really special.
And what are you saying?
I don't
give
know,
them a code?
Yeah, a code, and I think $25.
$25. Okay. So
Right.
here's how you get it. Here's how you can get it, folks. It's right now it's through email orders only. So send us your email at liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com with the code RR101. Send that to us. It's not on the website. That code will not work on our website. Right? Send that to us and we will give it to you at what?
$25.
At $25. You heard that. I was going to give it to you at 27. She said 25. I don't know. I'm your
It's
best
New
friend.
Year's.
I'm
It's
your
New
best
Year's.
friend, and I'm giving you a deal, right? At 27, and she said cut it down to 25. So you get a 500 ml for audio, for our radio listeners that will not be able to see this. You get a 500 ml with a sprayer. It comes with a sprayer, and then you get a refiller, a 1 liter refiller of this product that can fill 2 of the 500 ml.
And Frederick will not be tasting this.
No,
because
I'm not going to taste this
strong,
one. This is
right?
way
Gary,
too strong.
Don't worry, he's not going to taste this product.
I'm not going to spray
Right.
this one in my mouth. Okay. It's way too strong. So folks, that is how you can get us. Drop us a line at liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com with the code RR101, and we will send this to you at the cost of $25. Plus shipping, of course.
Great.
Okay. And that's it.
I want to say a couple of special thank yous. There is one other young lady that she was actually the first to say she would join the team, and that's Jordan. Jordan happens to be our son Kofi's girlfriend, and she learned I was doing it, and she says, "Oh, that sounds like so much fun. I'm going to do it." And she signed up, or he signed her up, whatever. And she was out there today. And I know they were out late last night for New Year's, and yet she got up and came. Yeah. She wasn't able to come on the show, but she was there. And she happens to be, I thought she was better prepared than we were, because she's Caucasian and she's half Inuit. Yeah, is it half Inuit? So, yeah. Right. So she does have that lust for cold in her blood anyway. And also to Gary and Mike, our producers, we want to say a very special thank you for
putting up with us for 1 year.
Whole year, whole year.
Thank you.
And it's Gary, from the very first time we met you, you were always so easygoing. And we were so nervous. I remember the first show, I was so nervous. And you said, "Oh no, don't worry about it.
You guys are going to do well."
And when things like what happened today happens and we lose, we're lost in cyberspace somewhere, you keep it going, you and Mike. Mike, every day you help us with a camera. You tell Frederick how ugly he looks and that he has to fix his light. So,
Yeah, just trying to make the show look better, and it's personal pride. It's whatever we can do to help you guys out. Try to support you guys as best as we can.
It's been a wonderful journey.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And when is our anniversary? It's not this week.
No, next week.
It's next week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next week is really when we started 1 year ago.
Yeah.
And it has been a wonderful ride so far. We have learned a lot.
And even today, because I know most people on a live broadcast, Christmas and New Year are days when they either pre-record or, they do something that was done before. Because, everybody needs a break, and listeners are okay with that. They expect that, but we love our show so much. And because of the dip, we thought, no, we had to be on live, and you were so accommodating. So really, 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 we love to be with you guys.
Very much.
And thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Frederick.
Here's another email, and we're going to stop this guy from writing us, because I think he's going a little too far now. He says, "Hello to Janet and Fred. And notice I addressed Janet first."
Oh, yeah.
Because she's the hero of the day.
I'm going to take it all.
I was the hero of the day, right?
Yeah. Today's my day, man.
Well, thank you for that one, Ray.
Yeah,
very nice.
Yeah.
And I think we got another one.
Cindy?
I opened it and I never read it. And I don't remember. Is it Cindy?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, she's Cindy. She said, "Congrats on Janet's dip." And my last dip was vanilla ice cream with chocolate sauce. Yum, yum, yum. And it was very cold, but I loved it.
Yeah.
No towels required, just napkins.
Well, okay. That's Cindy. That's, what, Frederick?
We've been talking all day, and it's a brand new year, and we really haven't, done it justice
because of last night. One of the things was don't drink.
Yeah, we couldn't
before the dip, because it's not good. Your tendency to freeze faster, right? Yeah. So we did not have a drink last night. So here's to everyone.
In the interest of time, we gotta hurry up. All right. Happy New Year to you all. Cheers.
And to you.
Mm-hmm.
Happy New Year.
And lots of love, peace, and wealth and prosperity to you. And with that, folks, we're going to end our show today by saying health is central to human happiness and well-being. It contributes significantly to prosperity and wealth and even economic progress. As healthy individuals, we can be more productive and may even live a little longer. So until next Sunday, same time, same place, same station, Reality Radio 101, this is Janet and Fred saying, let's stay healthy. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you for listening to the Liquid Green Health Show with your hosts, Fred and Janet Cox, right here on Reality Radio 101.